Hello, everybody, and welcome to Star of Life Ministries' second weekly episode. I am Chaplain Richard Blankenship.
And I'm Paramedic Shannon Johnson.
To start off this episode, we'd like to begin things with a little bit of an update. We have exceeded, thanks to all of you, 300 likes on our Facebook page, and we have reached over 1,800 people, and that is worldwide, and that is phenomenal, and we thank you for it. And we hope that you all will continue to invite your friends and join us each day and each week, and we all can continue to grow together. We have also received just today our articles of incorporation, so that makes us officially Star of Life Ministries Incorporated. Now we'll be filing for our tax-exempt status, and that will enable us, once we get that back, to go on and do fundraisers, accept donations, and then give out donations, most importantly, and help out our brothers and sisters of all services who are in need. So we're very excited. We hope you all are too, and we hope you all bear with us, and together we'll make some really great things happen. I'm confident of that.
I am too.
So this week, our topic of the week is how we can work to adapt to healthy coping mechanisms for stress and other kind of unfortunate and negative things that happen on the job and off the job. Things are largely what we make of them. That is kind of the first and foremost things, and not all unfortunate things that happen to us have to be bad per se. It's not always an easy thing to do. Sometimes we have to really work to make a positive out of a negative. And the main way we need to do that is to work on letting some things go, not holding on to negative emotions, to bad feelings, to anger, or anything like that.
Some things I think it's hard to do is keeping the job stuff at the job and your home stuff at the home.
Yeah, and that's why we work to help not only individuals who are in the services, but their families as well. And that's why if ever you wondered, that's why. It's a way to make sure that everybody gets that treatment and learns that no, the job's not easy, but there are things such as what we're going to be discussing that can help make it a little bit better and help you make it through. One of the top things I put on my list, I just made kind of a general list here, and there are websites out there that express other coping mechanisms, and I'm sure you have ones that are specific to you.
Let's bring us back to our Facebook page. We have partnered up with PTSD. He's actually a certified PTSD counselor, correct?
Yeah. And we're hoping to get more like that as well. Plus, we're going to be having, on this note, we're going to be having advocates that you can call or email and talk to, so that military personnel can talk to military personnel. Ladies who are in the service can talk to other ladies. EMS for EMS, fire for fire, police for police. That way, you can have a familiar ear listening to problems that you're having, and they can tell you how they've made it through, how they've made things.
Also, we do got a dispatcher too.
That's right, we got dispatcher, police now. We just have local sheriff agree to help us out here. And so it's really great stuff. This is part of what I was saying earlier, that we can really make great things happen together. And we're excited just how far we've come this far and how far we're going to be going. So back on to some of our healthy mechanisms. First on my list was music. Music affects everybody in some ways differently, but very much the same. Music affects all of us and how we see the world. If we're listening to down kind of a bluesy type music, you're going to see things a little bit more kind of depressing than what they are from a neutral standpoint. Or if you listen to upbeat music, you'll see smiles where there aren't. Clouds will have some more silver linings to them, and like that. positive, things will be more positive too.
I guess on a topic with that, you basically set the mood when you walk in on your shift.
Yeah.
If some of your partner, co-worker sees you smile and laughing and cutting up and just set the mood,
Right.
I feel that will be starting your shift off to a good shift because you're setting that mood.
Yeah, and that's what he said there is a big key part, is it's really easy to get in a negative mood, especially if everybody else is. And that's why he mentioned laughter in there. Laughing, having a good sense of humor is a powerful way to keep yourself, your coworkers, kind of upbeat. It's a good coping mechanism. It's one that you see thick, especially in these circles, because you got to. I mean, it's even in some of the darkest times, we've had some pretty decent laughs. I mean, it's just, you got to. It's laugh or let it.
It's good for the soul.
Yeah, it is the best medicine in this case. But also, you can start off with a good prayer. Prayer is always good. It's a good way to start the day. It's good mood setter, good way to address things, like some of the prayer requests we've had. We've had some prayer requests coming here. And it's just a way to kind of help start the day on more of an upbeat. Another way is, and I'm going to put these two together, and it's communicating with another. Like I said, you can talk to one of our people or somebody you know, however you feel best, or a licensed professional, like we were talking about.
A little note to that, our chaplain here does make our advocates do at least a minimum of 8-hour training that he has set. So it's people that's affiliated with us, and it does have some training to our degree.
Right. And we also have some other, one of our dispatch advocates is also another chaplain.
Yeah.
So, but with communicating, I'm going to tie in writing out your thoughts and how you feel. It's especially a good reflective technique for yourself. It's almost like having a second person sometimes, when you write something out and then you come back to it and be like, no, that's not quite what I meant. Or it's, I felt like that now, but now I can see that there's a better way around that. And it's a good way, it's a good outlet, really. So keeping a journal, diary, however. Avoiding other stressors or things that remind you of whatever brought on the stress in the first place. Good example would be say an alcoholic, somebody who's just hopping on the wagon and they're looking to stay sober, of course. They get invited to a party. They know there's going to be drinking there. They're not feeling quite as strong as, say, somebody who's been on the wagon for 5-10 years. So they might want to say, you know what, no thank you, but I think I'll, go for a walk or do whatever.
Well, what would you do, like on, as you well know, what we do every day, not bring up an incident that we've dealt with. I guess your partner, you talk to your partner about it, or talk to us, and
Yeah, you can go back to communicating, and it might be a communication of you have a call, say in our service, you would have a call, or I would have a call that would be a sensitive area for me. I say, hey man, do you mind working this for me?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then later, tell them why, communicate why, and they'll probably understand, and they'll come back with that they might have had a similar experience. And that way, you can work your way back up into being as strong as you once were. But for right now, you can say, like one of our code words is, what do you think? So having something like that, and that usually will trigger them to take charge or take the lead, so to speak. And for our last one is exercise. It's kind of one that gets overlooked, but it's not always everybody's favorite, but it's a good way it's a good outlet of taking that energy, positive and negative. If you're wound up like a rubber band or a coiled spring, get out, exercise, do a few stress relieving push-ups, whatever the case is. Good exercise is a good coping mechanism. And last but certainly not least, I know I said exercise is going to be last, but I'm going to sneak one more in, and that's never be afraid to ask for help. big or small, from God or man, help and knowing when to ask for help, even if you think you don't need it, that's a big thing.
And anything you tell us and talk about is all confidential. Like we told you before, we know the HIPAA laws.
Yeah. It's been, don't get me started on HIPAA laws, man. It's, anybody who's dealt with it does not want to do it again. So, anyhow, it's, those are just some of the ways that you all can help actively do it. It's not just by faith alone. Faith plays a good part of it, and we stress that in our daily posts and everything. But this is a way you can actively kind of work to manage, and it's small steps. It's I remember posting something on our page, so little by little, a little becomes a lot. So using these little methods, you can really go far in time. So, and they add up in a big way. We mentioned earlier our prayer requests. We've had prayer requests for there was a fallen firefighter in Philadelphia, a female firefighter. We asked you to pray for her family, for a local firefighter who we had listed on our page, who bringing home his newborn child this close to Christmas as well, just lost his home. And then of course our friend and co-worker here, he's been having run his child days for a medical specialist. They're trying to figure some stuff, figure out a medical case there.
And that's why I'd be glad when we get those donations in. That's like for that firefighter that lost his home, we'll be able to step in and help out there, especially this close to Christmas. I mean, so that's something we're trying hard to work forward. I mean, to do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's going to be great once we get these last couple steps completed. It's going to be really great. So really quickly, if you have nothing else to add.
Yeah, I do actually. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. Also like us on Facebook, share, tell a friend. Also, we'll mention this again in our next videos, but we're going to be traveling January 4th through the 11th. If you would like us to stop by your service and speak with y'all and hand out some information about what we do, we'll be glad to stop. Just email us at starlife432-431@gmail.com.
Right. All right. Well, with no further ado, I'll close this out with a quick prayer. And I thank you all again for joining us. And hope that you will join us again next time and keep with us on Facebook. Lord, we come before you today as your servants and ask that you please keep us all safe and help us through all of our struggles. Be with us, of course, in the good times and the bad times. And please be with those who have already encountered struggles and those who will encounter their struggles. And help us to be kind and to lead ourselves and our fellow man through whatever it is we encounter. And please help us here at Star of Life Ministries to continue on spreading your word and doing your will, so that we may bring all of our brothers and sisters goodwill in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Well, thank you again, and until next time, this is Chaplain Richard Blankenship,
Paramedic Shannon Johnson,
signing off for Star of Life Ministries, our second episode. Thank you, and God bless.